Well, aloha, everyone. It's so great to be back. I recently just came back on Wednesday from an amazing 2-week vacation in Hawaii. Brad and I found a window of time to escape and just celebrate our 26th wedding anniversary. And so, glad to be back. And I want to go back and just reference this time of year and Margaret's song. I mean, it's December. We've all got to-do lists, right? And we're checking things off, and we're buying gifts, and we're planning parties or attending parties or planning for that holiday feast. It's a busy time of year. But Margaret's song so beautifully reminds us that this is a time we gather together to share in the glory with God, whatever the weather. And we certainly are experiencing the weather, whether it's blistery or cold or sunny and present, here in this moment. This is the present. We cannot be reminded enough how important it is to be in the moment and to live life full out. Life is sweet and short and precious. And I just think your words were so beautifully written to remind us to drop into this moment. And that even though it's December and we're all excited with the colors and the activities, the season of love is year-round. It doesn't take sleigh bells or snow on the ground, just an open heart, letting your goodwill abound. And she ends it with, tell all the blessings. I can't use the enthusiasm that you use on stage, but to tell all the blessings, the love around you, proclaim your good, and it's bound to surround you. Isn't that the law of circulation that we talk about? You know, lean into it, be it, give it, share it, and receive it. It's that beautiful, beautiful circle of giving and receiving. It's that energy, and everything is energy. Your thoughts begin it, your emotions fuel it, and then your action toward your desire, that's what makes it happen. So the theme for this month is awakened. How many of you, with a show of your hands, have been to Hawaii? Oh, practically most everyone. Okay, well, you can think of awakened from the standpoint when you are awakened in the morning by the crows of the roosters, right? They are loud and they are first thing in the morning. That's one being awakened. But I think what we're really talking about here, awakened, is that journey, is that living life, being aware of those moments that come up in our life. You know, we're awakened to it. Whether it's a light bulb going off and you get it, or whether it's a discovery or an epiphany, or something that just is there, that comes up in your mind. My talk title today is Aha. And that's how I describe it. Having an awakened life is being aware and accepting the ahas. So on September 27th, it was a Thursday, 2018, I was sitting at my desk at the office, telephone rings, it's Brad, my husband, calling me, saying, why are you still there? Why aren't you on your way to class? And I remember saying, I've just got so much to do. I'm not going to class. I've just got to get all this work done. And he strongly encouraged me he goes, put the work aside, get up early in the morning and do it, and go to class. I know you want to do this. You see, it was the first night of a 2-year ministerial program that Dr. James was offering. I went. And then about just 10 days later, on November 7th, there was a horrific mass shooting here in Thousand Oaks. 13 people were killed at the Borderline Bar and Grill. Our community was devastated. And just a day later, many of you may remember, that is when the Woolsey fire ignited and ravaged over just shy of 100,000 acres here in Los Angeles and Ventura counties. Our community was rocked. 83% of our Santa Monica Mountains was devastated by that fire over the 13 days. It was heartbreaking for me because that was my playground where I enjoyed nature, where I'd go hiking, but it was also my work ground. That's where I worked. And then 2 weeks later, I received notice that the campus was closed. We all lost our jobs. And I was shaken to the core with those events. There is a quote by Maston Kipp, an author. And he says, "The universe has shaken you to awaken you." The universe has shaken you to awaken you. Well, my aha wasn't immediate. Actually, it was probably a couple months later when I was so busy with studies. I was busy with interviewing and trying to find a job. I was spending time with family. And one day, it was very loud. This calm, confident voice in my mind said clearly, "Karen, you are right where you are meant to be." And that was the aha. So I eased my grip. I allowed things to fold, and with ease and grace, let me correct that. Maybe with grace, I passed ministerial, passed advanced consciousness, and out of the blue, truly out of the blue, last February, Dr. James invited me to serve you, this community, as assistant minister and administrator. What a gift. Every day I am grateful, and every day I learn something new. As I prepared for this talk, I kind of was really curious about the aha. And so as we traveled in Hawaii, I kind of wanted to open that up more. What is there to learn? And I tell you, one day, the first week we spent on the island of Kauai, and Brad and I went kayaking and a hike to a spiritual waterfall with a guide. The guide's name was Maverick. I don't really know if that's his true name or not, but he was a maverick. And he was young. He was only 24. And what I noticed, he had the deepest, bluest eyes I'd ever seen. And so while we were out on trail, I kind of took the courage to just blurt out, "Maverick, have you ever had an aha?" And Maverick didn't miss a beat. He said yes. He said, 4 years ago, I almost died of an overdose. You see, I grew up in Montana. His teenage years, he spent doing every single type of drug imaginable. Crack, cocaine, heroin. He said if it was there, he would do it. And then one night, 4 years ago, he overdosed. He couldn't breathe. He felt like he was dying. He tried to seek help from his supposed friends, but they were all passed out and unresponsive. And then he got a telephone call from a friend who said, "God told me to call you and to pray for you to breathe." He said miraculously that night, he made it through, and in the morning he woke up, and he said he had this clear knowing that he had purpose. His life had value. And so, with the help of AA and volunteering and a move to Kauai, he's been sober for the last 4 years. I really believe that what his aha was that clarity. The next quote from Jack Kornfield, an author, says, "An awakened heart and mind can be experienced as clarity itself, pure knowing, I think that's exactly what he was trying to tell me. A few days later, we flew to the Big Island, to Kona. Was in our car. We drove in a parking space, and we got out, and right there was a couple, probably in their early 70s, and their name was Mike and Stephanie. We met them. I tell you what I noticed about them was the biggest smile on their face, grinning. And we started talking. We learned really quickly that they were from Alaska. They'd been married 7 years. Every year they come to Kona, that exact same condo, to get away from Alaska's bitter cold. And so we really enjoyed talking to them and agreed to meet up with them the next night at a resort, listening to music and the sunset. And it was during that conversation we brought up again, have you ever had an aha? Now, it was Mike this time, didn't miss a beat. He said yes. He said, I was married to my first wife for 30 years. She was the love of my life. And unfortunately, unexpectedly, she passed away. She died because a blood clot from her knee traveled to her heart. She died in my car in the hospital parking lot. I couldn't save her, get her help in time. He said the following days were really, really difficult, but with the comfort of friends, family, and the church community, he was making it through. But his aha came about a month later in the mail. It was a letter from one of the church members. And the church member wrote, Mike, you have had a beautiful life. You have had a beautiful 30 years of normal. Time has changed. When you're ready, you will be able to create and shift and have another normal. And I think Mike's ha-ha is really kind of evident in the way he approaches life, his smile and that shift. And it reminded me of two quotes. The first one is, Thich Nhat Hanh said, the source of a true smile is an awakened mind. And leaning into that smile. And then the next one is, a shift in perspective makes the particles in your universe dance to new possibilities. Isn't that beautiful? So with the ahas, it's not that depending upon the event or the situation in your journey, as Eric mentioned, but it's not that that's going to lessen the pain or the grief that you may have experienced, but there is a shift. You have choice. And then that is when those particles can dance to new possibilities. So this month, let us dive into the magnificence of being awakened. What are those symptoms of being awakened? I mean, hopefully everybody may have had aha moments, but how do you know if you are or someone else is awakened? And I do think it's a journey. It's not just the final destination. But one of them is, according to this article that I read, is frequent acts of smiling. So whether you have a mask on or not, it's smiling. You can feel it and sense it from that energy vibration of others. The other one is feeling of being connected with others and nature. Well, isn't that the oneness that we talk about in this teaching? Being connected with an open heart, and everywhere we look, in every person, in every place, there is absolutely love and beauty. The third one is an unmistakable ability to enjoy each moment. Well, I tell you, there is nothing more that opens my heart up wide than meeting people, whether it's far away when I'm traveling or here in the community, and just learning about others and talking to them and connecting. It's that oneness all to experience a higher level of consciousness. 4, frequent, overwhelming episodes of appreciation. I will tell you, on this trip that we just came back from, Brad and I had so many opportunities to be appreciative. I will tell you, from the moment we arrived in Hawaii, and we went to the rental car counter to pick up our economy car, we walked and drove away with a convertible. She was so amazing. She upgraded complimentary to give us that convertible. And then on Thanksgiving Day, we walked into the Kauai Shores. It's a hotel that has 206 rooms. And only 2 of these rooms had oceanfront views and lanais. He upgraded us, complimentary, to one of those 2 rooms. We said, thank you very much. There are so many opportunities to be thankful for. And when we travel, we say thank you a lot. Reverend Rita and Patrick invited us to dinner, to meet their friends on Thanksgiving. We had also very hard to secure parking space to hike the Nepali coast. I could just go on and on. And it's just amazing. Think about that. Be aware of it. Say thank you. The 5th one is gaining the ability to love without expecting anything. That's love only. Thank you so much. Thank you. So the 5th one was gaining the ability to love without expecting anything. That's love only. Enough said. And finally, a loss of interest in judging others. Does anybody judge others? So here's a quick story that I want to share. There's 2 men. They're getting together to meet for a business meeting. One is traveling from over here, and everything that could go wrong did go wrong. He was late. He had telephone calls. The traffic was bad. He finally arrives. He tells his friend, I am so sorry. He apologizes profusely. I am so sorry. I'm so late. Da-da-da-da-da. And his friend said, thank you. Thank you for being late. You gave me the opportunity to reflect and meditate on a situation that I'm dealing with right now. Thank you for being late. That was an aha for me. Wow, that is an awakened mind to respond that way. So in summary, the ahas awaken us. And when we are awakened, we smile, we say thank you, we appreciate, we let go of controlling the way we want it to be, and instead allow the way it should be. My last quote is that Ernest Holmes says, we are born to be happy, to be abundantly supplied with every good thing, to have fun in living, to consciously unite with the divine power that is around us and within us, and to grow and to expand forever. To be awakened, we live life full out. So during this holiday season, I invite you, in this season of love, to be open, to be aware, to be awake, to be love. And in addition to all of the ho-hos, be mindful of the ahas. Namaste.